You know, I used to do full screen webcam only, but looking back at it, I think this is the better way to go. So I'll just recycle some gameplay and I'll talk over it. Um, I sometimes make a video of the info video type, you know, where I share some information. Nobody cares, nobody asks, but I just feel like I should talk about it, like I should share it, because it's a weight to me. And if there's the rare few of you who do care, well, not care, care is a bad word to use in this context. If there's a few of you who want to know more, then you can find information like this. Because in my experience, whenever I liked or like a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or someone of the sort, and if I want to know more and I find out there isn't more to know, like the person doesn't really share much info, then uh, you know, I wish that they did. So in case there's some of you who do want to know more from my life, then you know this is for you. It's also to share because it's a sort of weight to me, and maybe this will help. Not sure yet. Though it's not the first info video I've made, but you know, I still don't know to this day if it helps me or not. But one reason why I'm making this video is my mom had cancer about, was it a year ago? I think so. About a year ago, she was suddenly diagnosed with cancer, and it was a very things were very hectic when that happened, because um, I was the one who drove her to the hospital twice or thrice within the span of 2 days, and then I drove like 6 or 7 more times over the course of 1 week to the hospital and back, which was like an hour to and an hour from. So 2 hours uh, every time, because like, we went to emergency room, I think is the American word for it. We went to the ER because she was feeling some pain in the stomach, and we were there really early, and for a few hours nobody was paying attention to us. We just took, you know, the ticket, the waiting ticket, and that was it. It's like everybody went away for lunch, they came back, and only then, like after 5 or 6 hours of waiting, did somebody finally start paying attention. And then they found out, oh wait, you actually have cancer. Who could have known? It's like, yeah, who could have known? But you know, why did you wait 5 to 6 hours? It's not that people wouldn't be going into the rooms where the doctors do the diagnosis or like check up the patient. It's just that we were there early, people came after us, and the people that came after us were taken before us, and they weren't scheduled. They also took a waiting ticket. So, like, you know, how does that happen? Still, her life was saved because they managed to get the cancer out. They had to take a bit of her. Ah, for fuck's sake, I should have prepared a word. They had to take a bit of one of her organs. I'll look up the word. All right, a bit of her intestine. Uh, the larger part of the intestine. You got the thin intestine and the thick intestine. I don't know what it's called in English. Actually, I can do that. Colon. They took a bit of her colon, and not trying to get graphic. It's just um, after that. Actually, to not get graphic, I'll just skip to why I'm making this. And it's been, I don't know if stressful. I didn't feel very stressed. I just felt exhausted at the time because of all the driving and because of the things that were happening. But now I do feel somewhat stressed because she has a final, well, not final. she has a follow-up surgery to fix the one thing that's left, because the cancer seems to have been beaten and it's no longer there. So wonderful. But um, when they took a portion of her colon, uh, she got a colon bag on the stomach because they couldn't uh, look into the colon to see what if there was anything, and so to not risk it, they just did it like that. And so the surgery is about removing the bag and connecting the colon back into the with the other intestines. And for some reason, this stresses me because every surgery can go wrong, even something menial and simple. But I hope that this one doesn't go wrong. And I suppose so. That's the primary reason why I made this video. This is stressing me out a bit, not a whole lot, but a bit. And then the other part that's stressing me out is I'm in the second semester of my third year, so I should be finishing up my studying. But I don't know if I will manage it. There's a bunch of things that I have left to do. I think they are within my capabilities, but I'm not sure if I'll have enough time for them all, because I need to get some foreign languages in order. I gotta get you gotta get 9 credits for the foreign language module. I got 2, so I need 7 more. And then I gotta finish or do translators practice 2, and then interpreters practice 2. That's gonna be a lot of effort to first of all find and second of all complete. Finding it is going to be the more difficult part, especially because once you're in the third year, second semester, you don't have as much time as with any other semester. The final semester is shorter. Then I have to finish up the bachelor's work, the bachelor's work. I got materials for it. Just gotta finish getting the rest of the materials and then putting it in a document, putting it into a document. And so that's another stressful thing. And the final one is, what does the future hold? There's different kinds of people, and I'm sure that you will agree. You're probably different from me, I'm different from many others. Everyone's unique, as they say. And some people worry about some things more, some people worry about those same things less. I worry about things that one could say are out of my reach or that I have no control over. And those things have been weighing on me a lot heavier as of the past 4 months, I think. Yeah, 4 months. At times so heavily that I found it difficult to just function on a day-to-day basis. And if you wonder what those things are, then I can tell you right away that a portion of them really are things that I have no control over. It's like, even if the world united, it would be difficult to get a control of these things or get a hold of them. So things like, what does the future hold? As I said, how will certain things turn out? Things that I don't think I can talk about in here because the algorithm wouldn't like them, or the speech recognition bots, and then the algorithm. You get the idea. And then other things which statistically are not likely, and that's putting it mildly. They are statistically impossible to happen. And yet, I want them to happen very, very much. And so these things have been And I should go into detail or to be more specific, but I don't think I will be specific because every piece of information that you share in these days or in this day and age, this age to be more specific, every piece of information that you share in this age can be used against you if you ever do become prominent or, you know, be careful what you let out. The things that I don't want to be more specific about are nothing that I would be ashamed of. It's just that I think that if somebody ever found out, they could be used against me, but not in the, oh, you're a creep or something, you're gonna go to jail. No, they could be used against me in a way that would just mentally torture me because I know that statistically these things are not likely to happen to me. Well, I know, I presume so. So, I don't think I'll share what those things are, but it's just one thing that I will share out of the things that I have no control over. Not bucket, what's the word? Slot? No. Group. Yeah. One thing that I do wish I knew, which way will it go, is technology. Because looking back at how have things changed and how has technology advanced over the past 70 years, it's done giant leaps. All the way up until 70s to 80s, 1970s, 1980s. And then it kind of like fell off. There's this one article that I looked at once when I tried to Google, because Google usually offers results opposite to what you put in, on my end anyway. It's like if I type in X is blah 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 blah, then it just comes up with articles why X is not blah 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 blah. You know, and even DuckDuckGo has started being this kind of ass as of lately. But I tried Googling once upon a time, uh, has technology, I think this is also one of the words the speech recognition bots don't like. But I'll go for it. Has technology been suppressed? Technological advancement. Not technology, but technological advancement. It's like, for once, an article came up, and the writer of that article said, it's like, oh, I didn't initially think that was the case, or I didn't believe people who were saying that. But then when I looked at various things, I think that what he's doing is not a proof of any sort, but it's an interesting research that he's done. Is when you look at technological revolutions, like they're referred to as industrial revolutions. So there was a first industrial revolution, then the second one, and whenever an event like that happens, there's a number of technological breakthroughs or like new inventions, and they happen close within the span of each other, and then they influence the next set of technological inventions. So the article said that these revolutions happen like an S curve. So the you got the initial inventions, they're then implemented into regular life, and then they spark off more inventions, and then it drops off, and then the next set of the big breakthrough things comes in. And so this writer wrote that, first industrial revolution, there were 3 big inventions. Second revolution, 5 inventions. And then when you come to the third one, which is around 1996, 7, it's just one thing. And, not to be ungrateful, computers have done a lot, computer chips, all of this has been a great help. But is that really the only thing that's advanced? Where's the rest of the things? Is it like everyone's focusing just on computer chips and nobody else is paying any attention? Or, I think that's unlikely. First of all, if you go into the field of science, If you want to make a name for yourself, you can either go where everybody else has already gone, hoping to find something new, or you can go where nobody else has gone, and you may not find something, but you may find something that will engrave your name into the history or history books. And so, to, I don't think there would be a short supply of people who want to make a name for themselves in history through new inventions and new discoveries. And so I find it odd that there's been no inventions whatsoever. Well, it would be disingenuous to say no inventions, but no breakthrough inventions, side by side along the computer chip. So it's like 3 inventions, 5 inventions, and then 1. I could say more on this topic, but as I said, I don't think the speech recognition bots would like it. And so it's things like these that stress me. And then there's the final one where I don't shy away from physical labor. I have done things that were physically demanding. I worked for a year as a laborer in a plastic interlayer factory. It makes uh, plastic interlayers that you can find in the walls of skyscrapers or in glass bridges or even in the windshield of your car. And that was demanding. It was 12-hour work shifts, 2 days, 2 daily and 2 nightly shifts. And I've also done maintenance work in the village that I live in. I worked as a store clerk, part-time worked as a store clerk. I part-time worked at a strawberry harvesting field, and I part-time worked. I've done a number of things, and I helped my father build a new room, complete from scratch. Dig out the foundations because we're not rich, so we dug out the foundations, just the 2 of us. We then laid the foundations. We dug out ditches for sewage pipes, and we laid all of that, connected it. That was a lot of work too. And then we used a bit of money that we had to pay for guys to come and build the walls on top of the foundations. And we helped them, and then we helped the guys that we paid after to put on the roof. And so I don't shy away from physical labor, but I don't enjoy it. If I could work without having to use my hands, that would be nice. And I have experience where this video is coming to a close, the one that's playing in the background. So I'll just have to loop it, or I'll have to queue up something else. So if you just hold on a second, I'll put in a different one. How about this? There we go. And so I would want to work without having to use my hands, but even then, I've tried part-time working where you don't need your hands, so you sit in front of a computer and do things, and I don't enjoy that either. And I've found out, or I've come to a conclusion that, like with many other things in life, for me anyway, I seek out and enjoy only a very specific. I only enjoy things that are very specific and that are tailored to my liking. And work, surprise, surprise, also falls within that category. And so I don't know if stressed or depressed. I don't think depressed. I'm depressed over the things that I would want and that are statistically not likely to happen. But I guess stressed fits better here. I'm stressed over having to work as something I'll not be likely to enjoy. And here's one thing. I I have very good intuition. I like to think so, and things that happen from time to time support this uh, feeling that I have about my own intuition. But you know, if I if I have a feeling like I'm not gonna enjoy a meal just because I don't like the way it looks or the way the smell it's giving off, 99% of the time I'm correct. Not I'm correct, but like I know what's going to be good for me in terms of food, and I'd want to expand that and say not just in terms of food. And so, I'm trying to say I have intuition which helps me decide on what I think is good for me, and based on that, I don't think I'll enjoy just any work or just any non-physical work, to be specific. And I don't think that the work that I would enjoy doing is not easy to come by, because who wouldn't want something in an easy way? It's like, oh, there's $1 million on the ground. Oh, wow, what a surprise. But I don't mean that kind of easy, but I mean like I think that I could work not necessarily as a voice actor, but I think I could enjoy doing things in regards to video games. Not necessarily development, because I haven't studied for that, but things like designing gameplay cores or expanding universes or doing some voice acting even. But the country that I live in only has one studio for voice acting, at least when it comes to foreign games that get translated into Czech. And in order to be able to work at that studio, get this, or as someone recently said, let that sink in. In order to be able to work at this studio, a translation studio, you have to be a linguist. If you study to be a translator slash interpreter, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They want only linguists. So a translation studio wants linguists and not translators. So I'm studying to be a translator slash interpreter, and this is a giant disappointment for me. So the only such work chance possibility possibility the only possibility to work as the only possibility to work as a potential voice actor is tied to going through something that's, I would argue, unrelated to translating and interpreting. It's like, okay, that's a punch in the gut. But I say that because just finding the work related to, no, I'm starting to get over, starting to stumble on over my own tongue. I should close the video. It's 25 minutes of just talking and something playing in the background. Who's gonna watch this to the end? I said this part about the translation studio because I think that finding work that you would enjoy is very difficult, regardless of who you are, at least for the common person. And I don't think that anybody, or well, I don't think that many people like working, or that they were uh, excited at the prospect of working. Maybe they were terrified, maybe they were stressed or something, well, take that and amplify it. And for me, it's like, it's not a panic attack. It's nothing of the sort. It's just, I don't see myself working in or as something that I won't enjoy or something that I wouldn't want to do. And of course, that's probably the case for many people. And they just come to terms with it. Well, the thing is, I don't come to terms with something of low quality or something that I don't like or something that my intuition says no to. I'm just unable to step over my own shadow in that regard. And of course, what does it matter? I'll be forced into some job I don't care about or don't want to do, like many other have been. But, you know, it's just all of these things are stressing me, and when I'm stressed, I'm unable to have fun. And maybe just putting this as sort of confession online will help me get through it. I don't know if it will help. And I don't know how many of you will or would have stayed after the colon part, which I should have put better, but hey, there was a time when I used to redo videos 12, 13 times just to get it right. And I don't think this age of YouTube rewards you doing things right. So I'll just put this up and hope that you won't mind that initial part and that you reach the end. If you reach the end, congratulations. If not, then I think it's pointless to say anything. So that's it. This is a small info video which actually didn't give you much info. It was more like a few explanation. Actually, it did give you info, but it's not the regular info video where somebody says, "Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna be away on vacation for a month, and I scheduled some videos. So if I'm not talking back to you in the comments, then you know why." It's none of that. As I said in my recent video in the first that played in the first half of this info, I think that I got deboosted because of a few specific words that I said, and ever since then, my effort has not been paid back, to put it this way. I had thousands upon thousands of views, and then it all just fell off. Quite quickly, in fact. I don't think it was organic. I think it was artificial, but I have no proof. We'll have to see if the Twitter files, ooh, come up with anything. Probably not, but you know. One can always hope, but why would I hope about in regards to that? I'd much rather hope for my dreams to come true than for Twitter files to show me proof of something that I suspect. Alright, well. The first video is StarCraft, Command and Conquer the StarCraft. It's been recently released. And the second one, which is just playing, is Barotrauma. You can just find it in my... It's also a recent video. But that's about it. If you reach the end, once again, congratulations, both to you and me. To me for not being completely boring, and to you for sticking with me. I'll see you next time. Actually, I already saw you in the Against the Storm video, if you watched that. If not, then, well, you know. I have nothing to say. I don't know how to end the video. I'll just end it now.